Morning, everybody.
Morning, Rabbi.
This week's parsha is Parshas Vayechi. In this Vayechi, you have the parsha, you have the story of Yaakov commanding Yosef that when he passes, he should be buried in Israel by Hebron. And he also blesses Yosef's children. In addition to blessing, he's going to eventually bless all his children, but he blesses Yosef's children that are his grandchildren. And when he blesses them, what happens is Yosef sets them up. His father is blessing his children. Now, this is a very, very serious, important, special moment. And he positions Menashe, the older son, on Yaakov's right side, and Ephraim, who is the younger son, on Yaakov's left side. So when Yaakov stretches out his hands and puts both of his hands over his two grandchildren, the right hand will be on the older child, and the left hand will be on the younger child. Now, what Yaakov does, he swaps, he moves his hands the opposite way, and he puts his right hand over the younger son and the left hand over the older son. So Yosef tells his father, you're making a mistake. And his father says, I'm not making a mistake. I know that Menashe is great, but Ephraim is even greater. So there are many different explanations to what was going on, and one of them, in short, one beautiful point that the Rebbe says from the many points is as this, that Menashe and Ephraim represent two different things. Menashe represents that, in short, that the name is that he should not forget where he comes from. He should not forget that even though he's ripped away from his father's house, he should not forget that he comes from his father's house, that he has a tradition, he has a Messiah, he has a way of life that he has to continue, and he has to believe in God. And Ephraim is a name that he's thanking God later that God made him as emperor, vizier, boss, ruler of Egypt. Now, which one is greater? Seemingly, the first one is greater because one represents Jacob. It represents the connection that Yosef has to his house, to his where he comes from. And Ephraim is talking about where he is now. But the explanation is that there are two levels of avodah, of serving Hashem. There is that you should not forget where you come from, know what you are, know your value. And the second one is to accomplish. Wherever you are, you gotta add. You can't just maintain what you have to add, you have to grow. And growth is with Ephraim. That being able to take whatever you have, the situation that you find yourself now, and not just to hold on, but to grow, to plant, to seed, to deliver, that is Ephraim. Now, in that itself, there are three levels. This is a beautiful point itself, three levels. That what happens is the Jewish people are going into Egypt, and Yaakov saw that they're going into Egypt, and they need to have two levels in Egypt. They have to maintain their Judaism, their traditions in Egypt, but that's not enough to maintain. You have to grow. If you don't grow, then the whole exile, there was no point of the exile. The point of a challenge is to not just maintain your position. The point of a challenge is to grow, come out a winner, to come out with something that you gain something. So there are three elements to what you gain. The first thing is that when you have a challenge, it calls out the best within you. So a person has an neshama, we have a soul, but it's quiet. It's on sleep mode. Now you're in gullus, you're in exile, whatever it is a person is dealing with, their challenge. Now that brings out your Judaism. You're being pressed. You're being challenged. You're being put in the corner. Now you gotta prove yourself. So now you take that hidden potential that you have and you're bringing it to the surface. That samel chanafshi, a person is in the desert. They're thirsty. They're yearning. They have now a thirst. They have now appreciation to water they never had before. Person's always in his house. Big deal. He doesn't miss his parents. A person wasn't at home for a long time. They miss their parents. They come home or their family, whatever it is. It's a big, big deal. There's a pull. There's a connection that wasn't there before. That's one. Two, there's another level in the neshama. It's not just potential. There's a level in the neshama that's infinite. It's infinity. And you're bringing out a level of the neshama. Not only is something that's hidden, but something that wasn't even allowed to be revealed in the world, and you're bringing it out. There's a part in the neshama that's higher than the world. You're bringing out that second level that it's like nuclear. You're bringing out a level that's nuclear. It's the second level. The third level is that through this choshech, through this darkness, you are now transforming, not just within yourself, your neshama, your potential, 2 levels in neshama, the lower level, the higher level. Now it's talking about your chelke ba'olam, the part in the world. You're transforming light, darkness into light. I'm not allowing the darkness not to affect you negatively, but you are taking that negative and you're transforming it into light. So Yaakov is telling Yosef, I see Ephraim represents that. Ephraim represents not just to hold on. Menashe is holding on. Yeah, I got a father, I got a grandfather, I have to remember where I come from. Ephraim is the one that's making it happen. He represents that action, that pro-action, that growth in Mitzrayim. Hashem shall help, we should all be inspired. We should be able to tap into those levels in our life, and we should be zoicha to the ultimate light of the coming of Mashiach. B'karam mamash. Amen.